Kamala's operation is being poorly run in the nation's biggest battleground. I don't think she understands Pennsylvania. Here is one thing that she is going to do: legalize recreational marijuana for Black Americans. Well, she has a whole post dedicated to that one, which is boom. No one should go to jail for smoking weed, which is hilarious because Kamala Harris prosecuted and put people in jail for smoking weed, which is just wild. Where's the rest of the Democratic Party, in particular Michelle Obama? Hit the campaign trail. We need you out there.
I see shades of the Hillary Clinton campaign with the arrogance of a Democratic Party out of touch with the electorate.
Kamala having a tough time in Pennsylvania. The quote is, "Pennsylvania is such a mess." Ugh, that's not good for them because they need to win Pennsylvania. Inside Team Harris's unusual levels of finger pointing, which is very typical for these people, where there's no leadership at all. Many of the state's most well-connected Democrats have been worried about the operation for months. Oops, here's the report. Top Democrats in Pennsylvania, critical swing state, are worried Kamala's operation is being poorly run in the nation's biggest battleground. They say that some Harris aides lack relationships with key party figures, particularly in Philadelphia and its suburbs. They complain that they've been left out of events and surrogates haven't even been deployed effectively, and they've urged Harris in private meetings to do more to turn out voters of color, which is strange because Kamala is a person of color, and they tell us that that's super important. So some are even pointing fingers at her campaign manager, Nikki Lou. They say lacks a deep knowledge of Philadelphia, where Kamala must drive voter turnout in order to win. Ryan Bowyer, who as the first black head of the city's Building Trades Council, one of the most powerful labor leaders in the state, this guy says, I have concerns about Nikki Lou. I don't think she understands Pennsylvania. For some Pennsylvania elected official Democrats, party leaders and allies, 20 of whom Politico spoke to this article, they're anxious the in-state operation has set them back. Latino and Black Democratic leaders met with Harris officials behind closed doors in separate meetings in Philadelphia late last month, said 5 people who attended or who were briefed on it. In the conversations which included Lou and Harris's deputy chief of staff called Sergio, the leaders asked for a greater presence at local events. And why aren't you inviting us to these things? We're your people. They want an improved surrogate operation. They want a more sophisticated understanding of how to engage with diverse voting blocks. But they reached out to Lou for this article, and she's like, I'm busy. In recent weeks, the in-state campaign has brought on new staff, which has given some Democrats more confidence, but they fear they're running out of time. Clock is ticking. Pennsylvania is seen as pivotal for both sides. $500 million in TV ads. I thought it was rough in Arizona. It's all over the place. Kamala has a lot going on here, man. They are dumping money into this state. Democrats fret that any mistake here could tip the election. Now, Harris's path to victory depends on her ability to turn out the Democratic voters of Philly. One Democrat said, I feel like we're going to win here, but we're going to win in spite of Harris's campaign. Says Pennsylvania is such a mess and it's incredibly frustrating. In a statement, National Campaign Manager Julie Rodriguez said that Harris's ground game and outreach were stronger than Trump's and we're aggressively crisscrossing the state. Didn't comment about complaints about Lou. Didn't want to talk about those things. No, we're not ignoring anything in Pennsylvania. Saying this is very common. Okay, we always get complaints about it, but no, Politico says no. This level of frustration and finger pointing is not normal. A second Democrat elected official in the state described Lou as AWOL. Wow. AWOL, away without leave. A Pennsylvania Democratic strategist said that Lou empowers a culture in the campaign that has left officials feeling unengaged and disrespected. As an example of what some say is missing, Boyer said the campaign wasn't using a mayor, Philly Mayor Cheryl Parker, as a surrogate. He said she's an African-American woman who won office last year on a tough-on-crime message and would help Harris win over disillusioned black voters and working-class white men. We need these. We need to come out in record numbers. But Nikki Lou is not getting them. Parker said, I know what's at stake here. I was directly involved from day one. And former Philadelphia mayor saying the same thing, says they should honor other people. Part of this is that politics has gotten so scientific around door knocking and all these things that they forget culturally Latinos like just noise. They're just totally forgetting about the Latinx. A third Democratic elected official in Pennsylvania said the campaign is completely flooded with money and they should use those funds to reach out to Asians and Latinx, where the party infrastructure is non-existent because they're Democrats. We're using their terms. All right. Politico is trying to sanitize it. All right. This is like how normal people talk. We're talking about Democrats and their operations. All right. So use the proper labels. Now, the Harris campaign provided a list to Politico of several examples of surrogate events aimed at engaging voters of color. Actress America and Ferrera and others are all going to be there. 50 staffers and so, all right. No, we're working hard. We got a bunch of people here. Not looking good. Okay. They talked to a lot of people. It's not that they were in deficit mode. I just want more. But Burgos, who chairs the Latinos Con Harris, which I think is gendered. You're not allowed to say that if you're Con Harris. Latinos Con Harris. And that is just a bad phrasing, right? I think that's why it's, what does Trump use? He uses Latinos por Trump, right? It's not with Harris because it's con, right? And in English, con is not a good word. It's got a negative connotation to it. But of course, Latinos Con Harris. The whole thing is just a disaster. Now, he said Democrats' complaints are a reflection of their anxiety over a tight race. Everybody's very nervous, he said. And I think as we get closer, people get more tense. You know, they're even more vocal. And so things are getting tense indeed. And so you saw earlier up here, it's not just the Latinos, Latinx community that they're struggling with, maybe because they keep calling them Latinx. I don't know. It could be one reason. But also having a difficult time with African American folks, with black men in particular. Now let's pause for a moment and talk about our testosterone. Many guys think it's being drained by their aging, bad genetics, or maybe even a lack of exercise. But what if that isn't the case? What if it's the food and it's something that you think or have been told is healthy food? This one food has been scientifically shown to devastate testosterone levels, and most men have no idea what it is. It's not junk food, it's not sugar, it's something way more unexpected, and eating it just a few times a week could crush your energy, your motivation, and your testosterone. But here's the good news. Cutting this one thing out of your diet could completely transform the way you feel, and our friends at V-Shred have seen it firsthand with their clients, helping them build muscle, burn fat, and feel more energized than they have in years. And it's amazing how quickly this can help if you just know what to avoid. And the team at V-Shred, the team behind cutting-edge fitness and nutrition strategies, has created a free video that reveals exactly what this testosterone-killing food is and how you can remove it from your body to increase your potential. So head on over to sculptnation.com/Robert. Again, sculptnation.com/Robert. Watch the video or just click the link down in the description below. V-Shred's experts break it all down, and this one simple change could make all the difference in the world. And so go check it out and don't miss this one. Now, here is one thing that she is going to do. Kamala Harris is going to create an opportunity agenda for black men. And of course, this is pretty insulting in many ways, but provide $1 million loans that are forgivable for up to $20,000 for black entrepreneurs and others. So who is that? Or what is that? Is that Latinx probably too? Or is that everybody? So is this only for black entrepreneurs or is this for all entrepreneurs? $1 million loans for $20,000. And how are they going to divvy this up? Like, is this going to be like a pie chart? Like what percentage are going to be for black entrepreneurs and what are going to be for others? Like a little clarity on that, you know? Because is this an opportunity agenda for black men or is it for all men? Or is it just only for black men? I don't know. Support education, training, and mentorship programs that lead to good paying jobs for black men. Like black jobs? Is that what she's talking about? I thought you weren't allowed to say that. So good paying jobs for black men. Sounds like it's like a unique category, including pathways to become teachers. Okay. So when Trump said the word black jobs, remember they lambasted him for that. That's racist. I can't believe, even though they say it all the time. Now, she's good paying jobs for black men, which I think is different. I don't know. Very confusing. Also, protect cryptocurrency investments. So black men who make them know their money is safe. Okay. Do black men have more concerns than other men with their crypto? Is there something wrong here? Why do they need special protections? Do black men have unique concerns with cryptocurrencies? Is this a racial thing that I'm unaware of? Is the blockchain a white supremacist? Satoshi. Yeah. Very confusing. I don't know. Maybe she thinks that black men are not capable of protecting their own cryptocurrency investments. And so Kamala will help protect them for them or something. I don't know. It sounds racist as hell to me, but this is Kamala. Now launch a national health initiative focused on the illnesses that disproportionately impact black men, and then legalize recreational marijuana for black Americans to succeed in this new industry. And if black men weren't excited about that enough, because Kamala Harris is going to be creating new opportunities, well, she has a whole post dedicated to that one, which is boom. No one should go to jail for smoking weed, which is hilarious because Kamala Harris prosecuted and put people in jail for smoking weed, which is just wild. and made jokes about it, right? Sent people to jail. She was a prosecutor. People went to jail for smoking weed. So it says Kamala Harris will legalize recreational marijuana, breaking down unjust barriers that hold black men and other Americans back, and making sure black Americans have opportunities to succeed as the marketplace takes shape. So, okay, well, she prosecuted black men for marijuana and other drug crimes. And by the way, I don't think anybody should be in prison for marijuana or jail for marijuana. We do have a over-criminalization of drug crimes in the country. But this feels like a strange political maneuver to go after black men to say we're going to protect your marijuana and your cryptocurrencies. It's kind of a thing. I don't know. As you can tell, I am not a black man, so I do not have a lot of credentials to interpret this from that perspective. But it seems a little inappropriate to me. But it's Kamala Harris, so we'll see how it works out for her. It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see what happens. Now, there's more. They're trying something. They got to do something because black men are not in love with Kamala, even though Obama came out and said she's basically your Kamala, and so you better vote for her or else.
The campaign still has real work to do, according to Pastor Charles Williams II. So how would you assess how the vice president's doing with 3 weeks to go?
I mean, look, everybody's worried. I'd be considered a supporter, and I'm worried in regards to what the polling is suggesting and around black men.
Jerry Flynn Dale.
Yeah, he looks stressed. You can see it in his face, right? Look at that. He's like, he's even got those Keith Olbermann glasses, man. Do you see Mark Cuban is now wearing the Keith Olbermann and the Rachel Maddow glasses? It's like a thing on the left. It's funny.
Around black men.
Jerry Flynn Dale, who works in the city's hip-hop music industry, feels there hasn't been enough outreach to the black community.
She definitely needs to talk to black males. The hip-hop community needs to hear more from VP Harris about what is her plans and plans of action for black males. A lot of black males are not into the Harris campaign.
Marijuana and crypto and some loans that might go to you and maybe some other people too. So yeah, they're just not into Kamala Harris. So there's a problem in the Kamala Harris campaign with black males, and so they're working hard to figure out what to do about that. So speaking of black males, we're asking, where's the rest of the Democratic Party, in particular Michelle Obama, who's now being asked, where you been? Okay, hit the campaign trail. Okay, we have a problem with this demographic. We need you out there. The former First Lady has been working behind the scenes to boost Harris, and they're expected to have her appear on the campaign trail, but it hasn't happened yet. Obama's been out there scolding black men. Do it or else you're in trouble. Bill Clinton has been out there saying, you know, if we vetted people, maybe they wouldn't be murdered by illegal aliens. That was a fun clip. But where's Michelle? The so-called Democratic superstar many would like to see helping Harris is not there. She's absent from the campaign trail. I wonder why. With just 20 days until the election, Michelle has worked behind the scenes to boost turnout in key swing states, but she has yet to schedule an official appearance. Two people familiar with this said that she has expressed fresh concerns about security following 2 assassination attempts against Trump. What? Does she think she's like Trump or something? Well, Trump's getting shot at, so they're going to shoot at me? What? Both Harris and Trump are receiving an unprecedented level of security, more bulletproof glass, and other things. After the 2 assassination attempts, they recognize the new reality, and her low profile stands out after her rousing speech at the DNC. Now, she's expected to add campaign events, but nobody's commenting on it. Hillary is also coming out of the woodwork. Michelle has a unique appeal of being a popular surrogate. Yeah, we'll see. She views her role as a high-profile surrogate, and people often forget she's not a politician. More J6. Every story has J6 in it now because they just can't let it go. If we see a mountain in front of us, she said, and all right, quotes, highlights from her speech at the DNC. All right, we'll see if Michelle comes out and changes the narrative out there on the campaign trail. But what this gentleman says is it is looking a lot like Hillary. They have a lot of arrogance in their campaigning and their entire existence.
I think it's touch and go right now. I see shades of the Hillary Clinton campaign with the arrogance of a Democratic Party out of touch with the electorate.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. They keep calling people Latinx and lying about reparations and then trying to argue why it's appropriate to mutilate your children